What up, everybody? Maurice Woods here, and I'm bringing you second quarter wisdom. What is that? I just turned 26 not too long ago, and here it is. I'm entering the second quarter of my life. I'd love to live this quarter and two more full quarters on top of the previous quarter of my life that I've lived already. I've learned so much over time, so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But the point of all of this is to bring different proverbs that I've learned, different lessons that I've learned. That way, this helps somebody out there, somebody. You can look like me. We can be of different regions of this planet, but hopefully something that I share in these videos moving forward is to help somebody that's on a similar journey. I like to relate my life to the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, of pretty much being an individual that has a vision and withstanding the test of time, elements, and all sorts of experiences to still attain whatever vision that is that he set for himself. I've traveled. I literally, I don't know. Like, am I where I want to be? No, and that's another reason why I'm starting this, because it's to help me document and log my journey from becoming a young man to a full-on developed man where, life has been pretty easy, and it's easy because I'm comfortable. It's comfortable because I have grown up in an environment where, yes, I've been challenged, but because I've exceeded all of those challenges, now I'm able to coast through. But I'm grateful, but I'm not entirely satisfied with where I am. I have so much more to accomplish over time. So with that being said, the purpose of all of this, once again, is to just document and log and share my journey and hopefully inspire people along the way. Today's lesson, intention. What is it? How do we use it? How can we embody this energy? If I'm asked what is the definition of the word intention, I would say purpose. It is internal purpose. I believe that all purpose should stem within. Intention begins with I, in, right? That means that it's something that goes inward. But to just be extremely specific, I would say internal purpose. But then you can find that it is the base for a lot of other words like intensity. You cannot be intense without some form of intention. Whether your intention is to dominate in a game or dominate in a work setting, that's what makes you so intense, because you were so highly driven, highly focused on whatever your purpose is. I feel like, last quarter started off, a little hot. You learn these lessons from whatever age, 0 to teenage years. You feel like you got it figured out. You walk around with your chest out for a few years, and then life hits you and you don't have it together all as much as you thought you did. Fortunately for me, I'm in a space where a lot of life has been comfortable, even through the adversity. Favorite song by Nipsey Hussle, I Don't Stress. Anytime I find myself in a situation where I find myself about to stress, I turn it on, take my time to breathe, calm my mind, regain my focus, reset my intention. That way I can dedicate myself to whatever purpose I set for myself and execute that vision. So I know the intensity and the focus of our intention oscillates, right? Goes in waves, goes in cycles. Some days you're driven, you're motivated, you're disciplined. Other days, I'm chilling. It's important to make sure that everything you do, you are as intentional as possible. Something I'm learning. I found myself in that oscillation phase where some days I'm intentional about everything I'm doing. Other days, I'm not intentional. And as a result, people get hurt when you're not intentional. or when you have the wrong intentions, if your intentions are solely based on yourself and not being mindful of what others may desire as well. But how can you use that intention to amplify your intensity to help direct your purpose? One of the questions that I'm asking myself is literally something you have to like wake up and think about. It's literally something you have to think about every decision you make, or else you're going to be on autopilot, which isn't bad. I mean, like, I can refer to myself and feel like I feel like I've been on autopilot through the ups and downs. I think as a young man, with the focus of growing into becoming a full-grown man, having intentions can lead you anywhere at any given time, because that means that there's focus, that means that there's drive, that means that your heart is aligned with what your intentions are. See, in the last quarter, it's kind of lackadaisy, had intention. I was moving here and there, game get kind of hard, game get kind of rough, you kind of slip up a little bit, start to doubt yourself a little bit, you start to question a little bit. Happens to everybody. Don't beat yourself up. One of my coaches has always told me it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So many things that I could look back and say, dang, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I wish I thought I could have. I thought I should have. It doesn't matter. Because the moment that you regain that focus and that intention towards whatever it is that you're setting your mind towards, it'll carry you a lot further. But the thing is, you have to remain disciplined and consistent with that intention. You can't just say, oh, I want to do this and lose track. But if I'm to tally off each individual day and I say, hey, by this such time, I want to get to this place, and here it is, that time frame is done, and I'm not where I want to be, or I am where I want to be, you can look at that tally sheet and say, how intentional were you every single day? Do you have your check marks on these days, or do you have your X's on these days? And if you have a lot more check marks than X's, chances are you're going to be where you want to be. Living how you want to live, in the space and the energy that you want to reside in. But if you have a lot more X's, at the end of the day, you can only blame yourself. I can only blame myself. We can't point the fingers at any and everybody else and say, oh, these circumstances that they put upon us forced us to, all the time. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say it's wrong, but for every situation, every action, everything we deal with, there's a response. We have the choice to respond. And I've been told the definition of power is your ability to choose. And the issue is, a lot of people forget that they have the ability to choose. They give their power elsewhere, and because they give their power elsewhere, they lose that intention. Because they lose that intention, they allow the ways of the world to just flow them wherever, and they end up wherever, but feeling a type of way because they feel like they did not serve themselves, or that they were not served. Second quarter wisdom. I'm focusing on applying more intention this year. I'm focusing on applying more intention for the remainder of this year. And I've seen results of it. Here it is. I have a vision, whatever vision I set for myself. And no matter what obstacle came, I've been able to regulate and still dominate the situation with an outcome that is favorable for me, because I've been intentional rather than giving up my power. You're going to slip. You're going to fall. You're not going to win every war. You're not going to win every battle. But we're focused on the win-loss percentages right now. The win-loss percentages, and team with the most wins at the end of the season wins the championship. Win your championship. Choose yourself. Win your championship. Be intentional to win. Not to the extent that you're stepping on others to win, but do what you have to do to win. Find your purpose, create your purpose. Right now, this space that I'm in, my purpose is to help others through my own journey. To relate, I'm human. To relate, to empathize, to express, to connect, which are things that I have not intentionally done all the greatest in that last quarter. I feel like this, starting off this quarter, this new quarter, I've been pretty intentional about it, but going into the last quarter, that last quarter, I wasn't the most intentional about how connected I was with the grand scheme of everything. I was so inwardly focused that it disconnected me in certain spaces. And, you know, live and you learn. Find your purpose, create your purpose, but have the intention and the intensity behind it. Second quarter wisdom. Peace.